What is up, you amazing, beautiful people? I hope you're doing well wherever you are at, whatever time of day or night you do end up watching this video, because in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the Type 59 and telling you guys if I do think this tank is worth it or not at the end of this video. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the stats of this vehicle. Right away, for the survivability of this tank, you have 1,374 HP, which is not too bad. You guys could definitely work with that. For the main armor, I do believe this tank does have very good armor as long as you guys know how to work it. This tank has an amazing turret along with good upper plate armor as long as you guys know how to wiggle and angle the tank, and we'll go more over that in the armor inspector part of this video. The chance of fire when the engine is at, it is 12%, which is pretty low, so that is always a bonus, and the view range is amazing on this tank. It is at 302. You will definitely be using this tank to help your team spot enemy vehicles, and obviously you can boost that in the equipment and provisions, which I will be showing you later. For the concealment for this tank, it is not that bad. It is actually pretty decent, and you can definitely work with it. And you have 2,036 damage per minute in this tank. You guys might be thinking that's not a whole lot, and I would agree with you if I just saw these stats on paper, but in the gameplay it feels a lot faster, and I think that's because of the alpha on this tank. And for the reload time, it is not that bad, and you could obviously lower it by equipping the other stuff on the tank. And for the average penetration of this tank, for the AP, you have 181, for APCR 241, and for high explosive 50. I'm not gonna lie, the average penetration is not that good, but it's not god awful. It is somewhere in between, and you could definitely manage and work with it, because I did not have that much of a problem to a point where I had to run calibrated shells. I'm using gun rammer, and I'll go more over that in the equipment, but you could definitely work with the average penetration. And for the average penetration in this tank for the AP, you do 280 damage for APCR, 240 damage for high explosive, 350. So this tier 8 medium does have a good amount of alpha to back it up. That's why I said the DPM didn't really feel like that low in the gameplay, mainly because of this alpha. For the aiming time, it is 4.1 seconds. I would kind of wish it to be lower in the 3.5 second range, but you could definitely work with it and lower it through the equipment and provisions yet again. Along with the dispersion, you could do the same, but I don't think it's that bad on this tank. And for the gun turn limit, for your gun elevation, you have 20 degrees, and for the gun depression, you have 7. Not a whole lot of gun depression, but if you get in some certain situations, or positions I should say, and you are able to get hull down, you could definitely work with this gun depression and just annihilate the enemy. And for the maneuverability on this tank, it is actually quite fast. As you can see going forward, it is 56, in reverse 20, and average speed overall is 34. And just skimming through the stats, like the turret turn rate, 51 degrees per second, and hull turn rate 58 degrees per second. Honestly, that alone is really good by itself. And the terrain crossing capacity, it is all in the triple digits. Even in the water, it is 110, in the ground 130, and on the road 134. So overall, as you guys can see, this tank is highly mobile, and that's another thing that I love about this tank. It's just so quick. And then for the equipment, I'm running gun rammer in the replays. That is all I'm running. I am not running calibrated shells, but like I said, penetration is not too good on this tank, so you guys might have to consider putting on calibrated shells, and also just use the equipment and everything as a template and adjust it to your own playing style. And then for this one, it's up to you guys between these two. I just personally run defense systems because I'd rather have everything to be a bit more durable and able to actually take a hit. Then for this one, I would choose improved optics over camouflage net. I feel like the tank's camo is already good enough, and you could definitely work with it, and I'd rather get that view range up to help spot enemy tanks for my team. And for this one, I chose enhanced gun laying draft just to decrease that aiming time, as it is at 4.5 seconds, I think it's at in the stats, and lowering it down will allow you guys to get snapshots off quicker, and I really do not think supercharged is that needed on this tank. For these two, up to you guys again. I just personally went for the improved assembly and all the replays that you're going to see, but honestly, enhanced armor is not that bad of an option for this tank because of that amazing turret and front hull armor if you are able to angle it properly. Then for this one, improved control is not needed. This tank already has an insane hull turn rate, so go for engine accelerator so you can boost a little bit of everything in the mobility. And then for vertical stabilizer, again, the aiming time, I want to get that down as far as possible so I can snap shots off quicker and not sit out in the open trying to aim in my shot before I actually fire it, and allow the enemy time to react and hit me instead. And I really don't think refined gun is needed on this tank personally. Then as usual in my reviews, these last two is up to you guys. I just personally run toolbox if I am stuck out in the open and do not have a repair kit and I am tracked or my engine is destroyed and I need to wait for it to be repaired. I can just get it repaired that much quicker and get out of harm's way. And then for high-end consumables, I chose that so I could activate the engine power boost at the start of the battle and beat the enemy to certain positions or spot them faster before their medium or light tanks can, and my team could just react faster to that. And also for the adrenaline, so I could squeeze 1, 2, maybe even 3 more shots off in those situations where I really need to get those shots off. And then for the ammunition on this tank, I run 18 AP, 6 APCR, and 10 HE. I really wouldn't change this out too much. Maybe take 2 more away from the AP and put 1 into APCR and 1 more into HE, but that's really about it if I was going to change anything. And then for the provisions, I chose the Peking roast duck and the tofu soup just to boost a little bit of everything on this tank. As you can see, from damage per minute down to the terrain crossing capacity, it really increases a little bit of everything on this tank and makes it more well-rounded. Same thing for improved fuel, but it's more focused on just mobility. And then for the consumables, I chose the multi-purpose restoration pack. It's pretty self-explanatory. If you guys aren't running it, run it. You are missing out. Engine power boost, like I said earlier, just to beat enemies to the certain positions faster at the start of the game, or even if I have to circle death a tank, I could activate that and go ahead and take them out of the game. Along with the adrenaline, I could just activate that to squeeze off 2, maybe even 3 more shots in situations where I really need to get those shots off. And that will do it for this part of the review. I'm going to hop on Armor Inspector and show you guys this amazing turret armor and this amazing hull armor. Right off the bat, you guys could already see the red and orange on that turret. Just look at it. And obviously this gun mantlet, nobody is going to be able to pin that, even if they wanted to. But look at the sides, 261, 528, 455. Nobody is going to be able to pin your turret at all unless they decide to pin the cupolas. And even then, they are, look at that, 919. Even then, the cupolas are so hard to pin and you have to hit it in a certain spot. Obviously, they're still weak points, and the enemy can still pin you there, so be careful on them. If they do go for your cupolas, just raise the gun right in front of them and wiggle it around so that the enemy cannot pin them. Then for this hull armor, you guys could see that it's 180 right there, 197. If you just angle it slightly, right about there, 188, 224, angle it down a little bit more this way, 243, 209. Yeah, as long as you guys know how to wiggle this front armor, if you're reversing, trying to get into cover, wiggle it, or even just angle it in certain situations where you see an enemy is aiming at you and about to shoot, you could quickly snap it to the side and they could bounce the front of your tank. And then for the sides of this tank, for the hull, it is 80. As you can see, pretty much anybody can pin your hull. And right here for the turret on the side, it is going to be a little bit tricky for some people. Tier 7s, I don't feel like will have that much luck pinning your side of the turret. Obviously some of them will be able to, and tier 8 most of them will be able to, but just look at how curved it is. 207, 225 on the side of the tank, so you could definitely get bounces from the side of the turret. And in the rear, you basically have no armor and anyone could HE the backside of your hull, backside of the turret, anybody could pin that. And this is pretty much the same as the other side of the tank, so don't really need to go over that too much. Like I said earlier, if there's an enemy aiming at your cupolas, just go ahead and put your gun in front of them and wiggle it around so they could have a chance of missing or pinning your gun. I mean, not pinning, hitting your gun and not being able to pin you. And then for the hull down position that I told you guys, it has 7 degrees, so you can get into some hull down positions and use the gun depression like this. I'll go ahead and throw up that black screen right now. And right there on the upper plate, it is 300 millimeters. Not a lot of people are going to be able to pin that. And right there for the hull, 386, 557, and the cupolas, they are such a small target that the enemy will either have to have a very accurate gun or just get lucky overall. Right there, 1,292 on the top of the cupola. So yeah, not many people will be able to pin your turret at all if you go hull down like this. How would I play this tank? I would use it to scout the enemy at the start of the battle with the mobility this tank has and the armor. You could easily get into a hull down position right at the middle of the map, sit there, wait for the enemy to get spotted, pull back and get into a better position if you don't have shots, or if you do have shots, hold that position for a little bit, and then once you don't have any more, go ahead and reposition. And you could obviously be super aggressive in this tank and push up, wiggle your front tank, and angle that armor, and you could easily bounce shots and use this tank's turret to the max efficiency. And I hope I will be able to demonstrate this in the replays that I have. And speaking of the replays, let's go ahead and check them out. And for all 3 replays, they are going to be masteries. That is right, 3 masteries for this tank. And I think it was like the first 10 or so battles I got these masteries. So yeah, I wouldn't say very easy tank to master, but it's easier than other tanks that I have played. I think it's probably because I just know how to play the tank, and hopefully I will be able to show you guys in these replays. So right away I did push over to base A, and I do make a pretty bad mistake at the start of the battle, and that's being way too aggressive. If you guys don't already know, I am a super aggressive player, and I will just rush the enemy. Well, I won't go full on yellow, but I'll rush to positions, bully the enemy, and hold my position, or even push the enemy very early on. Not full yellow, only if my team is there, like this E4. We both push up and take out that P43, and now we're going to focus this T32. But as you guys can tell, the E4 is pretty much a 2-shot for him. Now definite 1-shot, and he's going to end up getting taken out of the game. I'm just trying to dish out as much damage and take out this T32 as soon as possible. And we do manage to cap out base A before he gets another shot into us, which is very nice. We could get that lead on base capture points just that little bit sooner. I do check him in place. Now I'm trying not to take any more damage because I realized I've almost lost half my HP, and now I have lost over half of my HP, which is very bad early on in battle. And I was hoping that T43 could take him out before I could take another hit, but I end up taking another hit, and I'm pretty much a 1-shot for everyone on the enemy team within the first half of the battle. Like, I'm already a 1-shot, and I cannot brawl or duke it out with the enemy. Like, I need to be super passive right now. Watch what I'm doing, because if I mess up, I'm out of the game. Just 1-shot for everyone on the enemy team. So I'm trying to flank around, see if I got shots on the Annihilator, take a shot, but it hits that little concrete barrier, which, RNG, why did you do that to me? I'm already a 1-shot for everyone. Just help me out a little bit. But there's the ISU 152, get a shot into him, back up into cover, and our T43 is pushing up behind him and the Chrysler K. However, the Progetto does take out our T49, and our T43 is a 1-shot, but I'm just putting shots into this ISU 152. I do feel like he is the bigger threat with the bigger gun. He can just lob hit points off my friendly tanks, and I do not want that. I want my friendly tanks to be relatively healthy, since I am a 1-shot, and I take out that Chrysler. I take out that Chrysler K, and now I'm pushing up, focusing this Annihilator. First shot does get a bounce. I do not know how that bounced. I think it hit that little red part behind, on top of his tank. But I do back up, get bounces from him, get another shot into him. And I'm just going to focus this Annihilator because he's in a very bad spot out in the open, and he gets tracked, and he's stuck there for a little bit. Get another shot off, but I realized the Progetto 46 was aiming at me. So I decided to focus him, just drive back and forth, making it very hard for him to hit me at all. Get a shot into him. See, the STA is pushing up. Load, load, load. Take a shot, but it only tracks him and not damages him, which that might have cost us the game. You guys will have to find out. But I am in a haul down position where my turret is pretty much the only thing poking out, and the enemy cannot pin me at all. This tank, like I said earlier, has one of the strongest turrets at tier 8, in my opinion. You guys could go ahead, agree or disagree, but I personally do believe that, since the cupolas are not even that big and not even that much of a weak spot. But I am going to speed up the replay right here, because pretty much for the next minute or two, it is just a game of cat and mouse. Me and this Gravedigger trying to find the Progetto and STA, just circling around the map. So also, I'm being super cautious and careful on where I'm going, making sure I'm not going to run into one of the enemies and just get deleted from the game. Just watching the corners, seeing if anybody is spotted, and poking out a little bit before I fully go around. And then I'm going to go over to base C, cap it out, and obviously this is one of the most dangerous spots or situations I could be in, because now they both know where one of us is at, and they could just come rushing in and try to take us out of the game, but thankfully they did not. I cap it out, and now we are pushing over to base B, but the enemy is capping out base A, so we know where they're at, and now they know where we are at, because we are capping out base B. And they also have a head start on heading over to us before we even finish capping out base B. So I thought about pushing up here and using these concrete blocks, I'm going to call them, as cover and supporting my Gravedigger. But instead, poking out, I thought they might be coming this way. Did not spot anyone, so I figured they would be coming from base C. And yes, they are. They are capping out base C, and the Gravedigger told us to hold position. I believe that's what he said. Turn around, something like that. So I agree. And one thing I would have changed, I would have stayed back by those concrete blocks I was already sitting at. But instead, I decided to push up with the Gravedigger, just covering that little alleyway over there, making sure nobody would poke up. But there's the Progetto being super aggressive. Our Gravedigger is lighting him up. I see the STA1. I was going to pull out, shoot the Progetto, but I figured the STA could be looking out for me, seeing where I'm at. So I pull up behind him, get a snapshot into that, well, not snapshot, just get a shot into the Progetto. And now the Gravedigger is a definite one-shot along with me. And the STA is looking very healthy, and he's just going to rush in here and take out the Gravedigger like nothing. Gravedigger does get a few shots in, and I get one more shot in. Right now, it is a 2v1 situation. I decided to focus the Progetto because I thought he was just going to rush out. I was going to shoot him, take him out of the game, then focus the STA1. But in reality, I should have focused the STA1 first, got a block from him, then reposition, take out the Progetto, then reposition back to the STA1. But we do still end up getting the mastery. Yes, it was a heartbreak, doing 4,233 damage, one tank destroyed, and even for a defeat, we made pretty good credits at 100k, which is pretty good. And obviously, we were on top of the leaderboard for this battle. And in that battle, I think it really did show you guys the mobility of the tank and how effective it is in the hold down position, like that little position I was in behind the concrete barrier. They could not pin me at all. The Annihilator, the Progetto, and I think the STA1 was aiming at me. I can't remember if he bounced me or not. But anyways, in this battle, I'm going to be pushing over at base A. Since looking at the enemy lineup, they got more medium and light tanks, and I figured most, if not all of them, are going to be pushing base A. And I looked back because I was hoping my teammates would think the same instead of going around to base B or C and just costing us the battle. And I do jump over the little mound and get tracked in place. Leave a comment down below if that has ever happened to you. You guys go ahead and make a jump over something, and as soon as you land, you get tracked in place. I hate that. I was thinking about using a repair kit, but I figured there's no enemy nearby, so I'm just going to sit and let it repair. Get a shot into that T20, get a shot into that M4A1 Bulldog, get a bounce from him, and I am still capping out base A. I think I cap it out. Yep, there we go. We cap it out before he can damage us. And we do get one more shot into him before he gets away, and now I'm just going to hold this position from the enemy team. This Progetto, try to push up, get the gun down, but it didn't quite go. Luckily, I got a bounce. I decided to focus the T20 since he is lower HP than Progetto. Get a bounce from him, and now since Progetto is out in the open, I have to focus him. Get a shot into him, and I'm wiggling my armor, well, not wiggling, I'm turning my armor along with him, making sure it's angled and making sure my turret's in the way so he could bounce me. And so far, he's bounced almost every single shot, maybe one he pins, but other than that, he bounced every single shot. And my team takes out the rest of the medium and light tanks over here, and I finish off the Progetto 46 before pushing over to base B and C and helping out our heavy tanks. Looks like the ML1 will be taken out very shortly, which is very sad to say, but it is what it is. I have to go ahead and push up there and try to save him, but there we go. He is taken out of the game. And I was going to go ahead and take a shortcut, but I decided to go around the long flank. I don't think it would have really mattered. I was just trying to think on if the enemy would push out and just focus me instead. And our other ML1 is holding his position, but he is taken out. As soon as we pull up, I take out that WZ. I'm going to focus this IS-6. I pulled back into cover because I was really expecting him to turn around and focus me and just charge me. So I push up into base C, start capping it, get a shot into the Pershing before he gets out of the way. I do pull out, but I stay inside of the base so I can stop the enemy team from getting points and also that extra XP because I was trying to master this tank at the time for a review. Get another shot into the IS-6, get another one into him, and I'm not sure if I'll be able to take him out. I saw the ISU was pretty much reloaded, and yes, he does take out the IS-6, but the Pershing takes out our BK, which is not good. However, it is a 4v1, so it's very unlikely he will win this battle. So I decided to ram him, angle my armor, get a bounce, shoot him, and I think the T71, nope, the ISU takes him out of the game for the win. And we were pretty close on cap points, so we would have won anyways if he somehow managed to take us all out of the game. There we go, we get the mastery, 3,622 damage, extremely good credits. Look at those credits, almost 200k credits in one battle and 2 tanks destroyed. Also, we are on top of the leaderboard for this battle, and overall, I think that battle really showed you that this tank can brawl other tanks very effectively as long as you know how to angle your armor and face your turret towards the enemy and get insane bounces. Like from that Progetto, he fired, I don't know, around 6, maybe 9 shots into us, think one pinned, but all the rest did bounce us, which was pretty insane. And with that Pershing at the end, as soon as he was about to shoot, I angled my hull in a way that he just instantly bounced us. And just the mobility of this tank, getting to situations very fast, is very effective. But for this battle, go ahead, rush over to base D, get into the spotting position, just seeing if I could spot enemy tanks pushing up on my left-hand side or over to base C. And there is an enemy heavy tank spotted the Smasher. See if I could get shots into him, but he's not quite out in the open. But there are some other enemy tanks in base C, so I'm keeping my eyes over there, seeing if I could get shots wherever they become available. And if you look on the minimap, you could see that I think 3 teammates, 2 TDs, and our light tank, who is still AFK and spawn, are over there. So if an enemy does push me like the T-43, they will be deterred by those big guns pushing up. There we go, there's the ISU, but he did take a lot of damage, right? TD over there pushing up. See if I can get any more shots, maybe on that Smasher, but I'm just gonna ignore him since the T-43 was over here and I want to hunt him down. There's T-43. I'm gonna rush in there, take a hit that I really did not need to take a shot into him. Our TDs do get a very nasty shot into him, and I'm gonna be able to finish him since the Tiger 2 does look like he's about to push up into this position. So I'm gonna focus him instead. Our LTTB is finally in the game. However, I have no idea what he's doing. I see that there are medium tanks pushing from behind me, so I need to really focus this Tiger 2. Take him out of the game. There we go. We take him out and focus the nearest light or medium tank. I figured that the Comet was going to be super passive, so I just left him there. I decided to go after the AMX first, and also I'd rather have both tanks in front of me instead of one in front of me and one behind me. So I load the HE, get a nice shot into that AMX, load the HE again. Can I get another one? Yes, 326 damage. He is possible 2-shot for me, maybe a 1-shot if I high roll a crap ton, but I do get a shot into him and set him on fire. And as soon as he goes over the hill, he is destroyed. But the Comet is now going to rush me, gets a shot into me. I take a shot, but it bounces off his gun mantlet, which is not good at all. We are brawling it out. He gets a bounce and I get hit by the Smasher, so I pull back behind the hill, hopefully not getting hit by another Smasher. And he does get another shot into me. He does bounce again, but he's going to be able to get to my side, get another shot in before I aim in and take him out of the game. And I was looking very healthy before that little fight, little brawl, whatever you guys want to call it. And now I am pretty much a 1-shot to both Smasher. Well, I'm a definite 1-shot to both Smashers, and a possible 1 or 2 shot to the AT-15. So I gotta play super passively and use my teammates' hit points pulls, basically to take hits for me and spot the enemy, so I can dish some damage out. And now I'm just going to go into more of a sniping role supporting my team. And this is really going to demonstrate the accuracy and how good this aiming time and gun is on this tank. Get a shot on that AT-15. And I'm just going to stay put, reload, and just take shots where they are available. Obviously, if I don't have shots, I'm going to go ahead and reposition. But there's the Smasher. Almost had a shot on him, but the AT-15 is still out open. So I get another shot into him, doing 312 damage, which is very good. Keeping an eye on that other Smasher, making sure I am not going to get hit by either of them again. Looks like he's pushing up, seeing if I have shots. No, he stays put. It looks like our Annihilator is now looking too healthy, so hopefully he does not push up too far. And it looks like a stalemate right now in this battle, but he does push up a little too far, take a shot, but it does not connect. And there's the other Smasher spotted. I'm just waiting for him to rush out in the open or something, get some shots on him, but there's the AT-15 still out in the open, so I'm going to aim in, take a shot, but it bounces, I believe. I believe that shot bounced. And I can't believe the AT-15 is still in that spot if I am getting shots on him. But since that shot missed, I'm going to stay put, get another shot into him, and now I think he learned his lesson. He is backing up into cover, but not quite, because I'm about to reload and take another shot into him. There we go. He is now a definite 1-shot to us. And we're just about sitting at 4,000 damage. There's the Smasher. I do decide to ignore the AT-15 because I do want to get some more damage in. I am being super greedy. Get another shot into that Smasher. Can we get another one? No, does not quite look like it. It looks like our Annihilator is about to be deleted from the game. So I take a blind shot there, and it looks like I set him on fire. I'm not sure if that shot connected. It must have if I set him on fire. And our Annihilator takes out that Smasher over there. Get a shot into the Smasher. Can we get one more before he gets away from me? Come on, need all this damage that I can get another shot into him. Can we get one more before he disappears? Come on, come on, come on. And no, he just manages to escape me. So I'm looking for that AT-15 where he is at right now. Just trying to get a shot. And their team is telling the AT to just hide. But he's stuck out in the open, showing me his rear end. So I just delete him from the game. And we win on the cap points. And overall, I think we would have won that battle if we didn't have the points and I had to deal with the Smasher. But we get the mastery. Over 5,000 damage, sitting at 5,316. Extremely good credits again. This tank is a very good credit maker and is one of my go-to tanks if I need credits. This one and the Lova, along with a handful of others, and I'll tell you guys which ones those are. And we get 5 tanks destroyed, and we are on top of the leaderboard for this battle. But overall, do I believe this tank is worth it? Yes, as you guys saw, it has very good mobility, it has the armor, it can brawl, it could go haul down, and it has a very accurate and effective gun. So yes, overall, this tank is definitely worth it. But now, what is the price ranges you guys should be going at for gold and money? Personally, for gold, I believe you guys should be looking for a price around maybe anywhere between 12 or 12k gold, maybe 15. Let's meet it in the middle and say around like 14 to 15-ish k gold is the absolute max. And if it goes for sale any less than that, definitely jump on it, because I do believe it is going to be a steal since this tank is super effective in pretty much everything it does. And for money, let's say around 15 or 18-ish dollars, I would say would be around my max. And obviously, again, if it is less, go ahead and jump on it, because I do believe it is a steal. But if you guys did like the video, feel like you guys learned more about this tank through the stats, or even how to play, if you felt like you guys learned how to play this tank more effectively, go ahead and smash the like button, leave a comment on your favorite part of the video or anything in general down in the comment section below, subscribe and hit that bell notification so you're always notified when I upload a new video. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.
How does it feel to